everybody, welcome back to another campaign playthrough. I'm Dave Walsh, host of Card Talk, and today we are going to be on the road to Isengard, and hopefully we can take over Saruman with the Ents, and the Ents are very strong. Before we get any of the scenario and campaign set up, let's take a look at the quest log and the deck, as we do at the beginning of every one of these episodes. So here we have the Bond of Saga Ship Hobbit deck. 4 heroes. It's been happening. Bilbo's a hero usually when you start with a enemy in the staging area, but in this case, Saruman is immune to player card effects. So I've played this a couple of times, and sometimes you start with an enemy in the staging area, sometimes you don't. I've also found that this quest, you don't necessarily have to quest a ton. Sometimes you do have to quest a ton, but that's not necessarily the thing. The thing is to try to get to Saruman. And it's actually kind of tricky to get to Saruman. The scenario actually forces you to turtle a little bit, not to get itself set up, but to you have to get through locations. And I think the hope is for the encounter deck that when, you have to wait a long time, you may be whittled down too much to actually face Saruman. But I've found that that's not necessarily the case. And Saruman is tricky, so you have to have a lot of cards in your hand after you get to stage 3. So one of the things that I have been doing is saving like a piece and thought for stage 3, because drawing 5 cards is very helpful. This is more of a boss fight than it is a questing thing. So having a defensive hero like Sam with a hobbit cloak, or being able to bring in Treebeard and being able to take damage. Saruman swings for 6. So to be able to continually defend and fend off 6 is really what you need to be able to do. So let's look at the campaign log, and you'll notice that there's absolutely nothing different about the road to Isengard than Helm's Deep. I didn't get poison councils. Those wizardry effects in this scenario are pretty bonkers. The locations have wizardry effects. Saruman is going to be constantly attacking me in stage 3. By the time you get to stage 3, you're going to want to get through it in as few of turns as possible, or at least I will be wanting to. So let's take a look at the scenario and set it up. So the campaign here just says shuffle Saruman's voice into the encounter deck. I've already done that. Part of the scenario setup is good. And then it says remove the Frodo burdens from the encounter deck. The Frodo burdens are burdens associated with Frodo. In this particular scenario, Aragorn is our fellowship hero. So he has a set of burdens that are associated with him, and then there's a set of burdens associated with the ring bearer, and then there's general burdens that everybody gets. These 3 encounter or burden set icons are the Frodo burdens, and we don't play with those. The scenario is set up. So let's take and put Old Bogey Stories onto Sam, Tireless Ranger.
He's one of them rangers.
That's going to be Sam. Forewarned is going to be Sam too. These 2 can't ever move. I designated Sam as the hero that's going to get Tireless Ranger and Forewarned in the campaign, and they have to stay there. If Sam is eliminated, which I hope he won't, or if for some reason he's captured later on, which I don't think he will be, I can't choose a different character to put those on. And then Overcome by Grief doesn't interact with anything in the staging area, so I put it over here to the left of the staging area. And then Pursued by the Enemy gets put into the encounter deck. And now I will put Sting and Anduril in my player deck and shuffle that up. So this is the scenario where I realized, or that I'm using to be able to shuffle Sting and Anduril in my deck. If I did earn Poison Councils, it would have been shuffled into my deck after I put my deck on the table. Hopefully I'm doing it well enough for nobody to get grumpy at me. I think that there's a lot of room for interpretation there for this particular thing. But now it's time to go on. So this is interesting. So I need to try to recruit the Ents in order to fight in Isengard. And so the way that I recruit the Ents is, I'll flip over the quest card and show you, is that I compare my willpower to an encounter card just flipped over. So I would exhaust a hero. If my willpower is greater than the threat of the card that's flipped over, I put a resource token on the end. 3 resource tokens, I gain control of the end. I don't have to worry about drawing cards or gaining resources. I don't commit characters to the quest. I don't reveal encounter cards. It's pretty much this first part of the game is just me trying to convince the Ents to come to war. I'll exhaust Aragorn for 2. Okay, so that has 0. So this Ent gets a resource. Okay, so that's 1. Okay, now Sam. That's 2. And now Bilbo. Nope, Bilbo doesn't get it. Falco got it. So that's a 3rd resource, and I can take control of the Ents. Discard the resources.
Many of these trees were my friends. Creatures I had known from nut and acorn.
I'm sorry, Treebeard.
They had voices of their own. Saruman. A wizard should know better.
Okay, so now Mary, and Mary gets it. So this is one of the beauties of this bond of friendship contract, is that I have now 5 characters that I'm able to use in order to convince the Ents. If I do it perfectly during the next round, I will be able to get 2 more Ents. Now, I'm not expecting to be able to do it perfectly, but if I can put 2 on this Ent and 3 here, that's 5. 3 Ents going into this in 2 rounds. Sounds all right to me. Okay, so this is the round counter. So I'm in round 1 now, but I'm going to go to round 2 and I'm going to ready everybody. I'm going to continue convincing the Ents. So because I get to continue convincing the Ents, I can put a resource here. And I'm choosing not to move on. I'm choosing to continue to convince the Ents. For every resource here, I have to reveal an encounter card. So I'm hoping to do this. If I could do this perfectly now, that would be great. Aragorn. Okay, Aragorn gets it. Okay. Sam gets it. Okay, so this guy comes down.
There is no curse in Elvish, Entish, or the tongues of men for this treachery.
Look, the trees! They're moving!
Where are they going?
They have business with the orcs. My business is with Isengard tonight, with a rock and stone.
And normally I would be happy with 2, but man, if I could get 3, that would be wild. Oh, okay, so far so good. Okay. Okay, last one. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I was able to get 3 Ents.
Yes.
Come, my friends. The Ents are going to war. It is likely that we go to our doom. The last march of the Ents.
was able to quest perfectly through 2 rounds. And I mean, it's a little unfair. Okay, but what does it say? It says at the end of the round, place 1 resource here, so that we will do. It says then the players may advance to stage 2. That's what I'm going to do. If the players do advance, the first player shuffles the encounter discard pile and reveals 1 card for each resource here. Then remove each Ent objective in the staging area. So I'm going to shuffle these back into the encounter deck, and I will reveal 2 cards. And I get 2 locations. That is pretty phenomenal. Now we move along. And Gates of Isengard is the active location. Saruman and Orthanc get put into the staging area. And so this is where the Ents do good work for me. I'm not making progress through questing. I have to explore 5 locations. So it's kind of like the second stage of A Journey in the Dark, where I have to destroy 3 enemies. Here I have to explore 5 locations, which again, thematically makes a lot of sense because I'm going around, I'm trying to root out all the goblins and orcs that Saruman has. I have a quest action for each of my Ents of Fangorn, put 2 progress on a non-unique location. If I have 5 damage tokens, I can go to stage 3A. Now, the one thing that's a bummer is that Saruman is 4, and this is 4, so that's 11. So I have 13 right now in the staging area, so that's a lot to worry about. But I can get rid of some of these right off the bat. I am definitely going to put a Hobbit cloak onto Sam. What I want to try to do is I want to try to put Gandalf into play and draw cards so I can set up my board state, because it looks like I'm going to be able to get through this pretty quickly. But that's not going to happen right this second, obviously. We are going to try to quest successfully. Now, there is a quest phase action window before I commit anybody to the quest. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to use my quest action and explore the steaming vent. That puts a damage token, boom, on there. So I don't know if I can actually quest successfully, but I guess we'll see. I do have 6, 10 right now in the staging area. So 2, I guess I could do 12. Okay, let's see what we get. I got a Snugga. Discard a random card from your hand, plus X. So I get rid of a sneak attack. So that means there's 2. I'm kind of okay with that. I don't quest successfully, but I don't quest unsuccessfully either. I'm going to leave him in the staging area. He's going to do 1 damage, so I'm going to do the archery damage to the Ent. I got those pincushions over there for archery, so I didn't quest successfully, so that's good. Okay, so Control N. I'm going to put the Honor Guard into play, because I want to be able to prevent this archery here. So I think this is the quest phase, so I am going to do Sneak Attack Gandalf.
A wizard is never late, Frodo Baggins. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
And I'm going to draw 3 cards. Okay, and Bilbo will target this Snugga, and I will do 4, and that gets rid of this underground armory. So damage here. So now I only have 6 in the staging area. 4. I'll just do 10. And that increases my threat by 1. So did I quest successfully? Yes. After the players quest successfully, I look at the top 3. So questing successfully is different than placing the progress or the tokens. I quested for 10, so here's what I'm going to do. I get 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the one that I want is the location. So these 2 get discarded. So now, because I had 7 in the staging area, this comes into the victory display. Because of that, I have to look for an enemy, and I put it into play engaged with me. So this guy will come into play engaged with me. He engaged, so I get to ready Sam. Bilbo did a damage to this guy because we quested successfully. Gandalf comes back into my hand. I will do the action window at the end of the quest phase. So I'm going to put 2 on the plains of Isengard. And then I'm going to travel to the underground armory. I still have to deal this guy a shadow card because the underground armory was in play and he came into play engaged, so I still have to deal him a shadow card. So I'm going to travel to the underground armory anyway.
The old world will burn in the fires of industry. The forests will fall. A new order will rise. We will drive the machine of war with the sword and the spear and the iron fist of the orc.
That's going to end up going bye-bye anyways, so I could engage this Snaga and boost Sam even more, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Okay, so I have archery 2 to deal with. Okay, well, I will prevent one of the archery, and I will do another archery to one of these guys. Okay, and then I will defend this guy and discard the shadow effect, and then I will attack that guy for 4 and kill this. Next round. Looks like somebody's sending me a hint here to play Pippin. I will put an unexpected courage on Master Samwise, and I think the thing to do is to put the Dagger of Westerness onto Sam as well. And now we enter the quest phase. So before anything crazy happens, I will exhaust an End to Fangorn to explore this, and that puts a damage here. I will explore the active location. There's no limitation on the quest action here that says it has to be in the staging area or active. I'm going to do that because there is a treachery that makes me have to trigger the wizardry effects on the active location. So now it's just a matter of questing. So we will 2. So I'm questing for 8, and there's 6 in the staging area. Saruman's orders. Each player must choose either return an enemy engaged with him or reveal an encounter card. So the game state here wouldn't be changed if I did the first one, so I have to do the second one, which is reveal an encounter card. So that's 2. So look, I didn't quest successfully, which is fine by me. So I will engage this guy. I will prevent the 1 archery damage. And now I will ready Sam, and I will get rid of the shadow card. Sam, how much is Sam defending for? 3? So Sam takes a damage, and then Aragorn is going to... let's see. Aragorn's attacking for 3. You know what? Falco never gets any love in any of these playthroughs, so I'm going to ready Falco, and I will do 5 damage, which is enough to kill this Wolf of Isengard. Good job, Falco. Okay, next round. The Red Book of Westmarch. There's 15 progress on the next quest card, and being able to use the Red Book of Westmarch may help me get through it in as few turns as possible. Let's quest here. I just don't want to quest unsuccessfully. So 2. So I'm questing for 10, and there's 6 in the staging area. So what do we get? The Blast of Sorcery.
Save your pity and your mercy. I have no use for it.
Assign X damage among characters committed to the quest. X is 1 more than the number of players in the game. There's only 1 player in the game, so I will do 2 damage to this Ent of Fangorn. That means I quested successfully, so now I have to trigger Orthanc. I'll take the Open Pit. So it's in the staging area. I did quest successfully, so I will put a damage onto the Snaga here, and I will travel. I don't even have to worry about engaging this guy. I will just prevent the archery damage, and that's it. I feel like this is going to be the round that I am going to progress. I'm going to put the Red Book of Westmarch onto Falco. I'm going to put Pippin into play. I really like this version of Pippin. I know that lore Pippin is really good, but I just feel like this Pippin is the support that Hobbit decks need to do stuff. So I'm going to put in Build a Pony into play. Because the open pit is over here, it's not in the staging area, I'm going to bring in Gandalf.
A wizard is never late, Frodo Baggins. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
And then I'm going to draw 3 cards for Gandalf's effect. And look, I now have Treebeard. Part of me really wants to bring Treebeard into play just for thematic reasons at this point. I guess I could.
Treebeard, some call me.
I'll put Treebeard right here next to all his Ents.
Yes.
Come, my friends. The Ents are going to war.
And I can't put Andoril into play. Okay, it's the quest phase. Beginning of the quest phase, I am going to do 1, 2, and this goes by, and this is explored. And I am advanced to stage 3A. So I draw 6 cards. That test of will is screaming my name. It says each player with more than 6 cards in his hands discards 6 cards until he has only 6. And then it says attach Saruman's staff to Saruman. So I will attach Saruman's staff to Saruman. And now we say, well, Orthanc is active location. Saruman is considered to be engaged with the first player. When Orthanc is explored, cancel any progress placed in the quest this phase and return Orthanc to the staging area. So you have to time this out super weird. You have to put all the progress on the current quest and then travel to Orthanc. And then because Orthanc becomes the active location, Saruman becomes engaged with you, and then you can attack Saruman back. And the only way to beat this stage is by having 0 hit points with Saruman. Long and the short of it is, though, I still only have 6 in the staging area, and I'm going to be able to quest for a ton. 3. I think 17 is the magic number. Let's reveal. And we get trigger the wizardry effect of the active location, gain surge. Okay, so this is the Machines of Isengard. So now we get a Wolf of Isengard. So that increases the threat in the staging area by 2. I get to put 9 progress on the current quest. I did quest successfully. See what I do here. What I'm going to do is reveal this, get rid of 1, 2, and then travel there. I did kill this Snaga, so that's good with Bilbo. Okay, so I'll come down here. I don't think it would have mattered, but I don't think I quested with Gandalf. 17, yeah, I didn't quest with Gandalf, so guess what? Gandalf is going to defend this guy. Gandalf is not going to defend this guy. Gandalf will help kill that guy, but let's see, he's defending for 3. So I'm going to discard the shadow effect. I don't want any wizardry effects going off. Okay, so I'll discard the shadow effect. I will prevent the 1 damage. I will attack with Gandalf for 4, and Aragorn for 3, and kill the wolf. So now this is where it's going to get crazy. I'm going to ready. I'm going to spend 1, because I think it's worth it to get the 5 cards, I think. I hope. Maybe it's not worth it. I don't know. I'm going to have to fend off an attack. 2 attacks from Saruman. Now, Saruman has 50. You know what? I'm going to do it. So I will play this for 1. Boom. Do 1, 2. Okay, and I will draw 5 cards. Oh, look. Gandalf is ready. So guess what? Gandalf is ready. He's going to defend. Gandalf will defend this attack.
gave you the chance of aiding me willingly, but you have elected the way of pain.
He gets 2 shadow cards. The first shadow card. Discard a non-objective attachment you control. Goodbye, old bogey stories. Number 2, Wizardry. Each player discards 1 ally he controls. Okay, so 1 ally. I guess I will get rid of Bill the Pony.
Mines are no place for a pony. Even one so brave as Bill.
Bye-bye, Bill.
Go on, Bill. Go on. Don't worry, son. He knows the way home.
Gandalf takes 2. Now I'm going to do Control N. Saruman has to make an attack. So he gets 2 shadow cards, and I can defend that attack pretty easily with this Ent of Fangor. And if one of those shadow effects is bad, I can cancel the shadow effect. Each player discards a random card from his hand. And then attacking enemy makes an additional attack after this. I am getting rid of that shadow effect. This guy takes 3 damage. I'll prevent one of them. 1, 2. So now I can put a fast hitch onto Sam. And I can put Anduril onto Aragorn.
Anduri, a flame of the west, forged from the shards of Narsil.
I want to keep my test of will ready to go. Okay, so now questing. 3, 13 versus 6. Let's see. What's this active? 2. And then I need 6 more. I need 8. So I need a little bit more to quest. That's 17. And I have 2, 6 to go. So it says assign X damage. This is the number of players to questing characters.
Save your pity and your mercy. I have no use for it.
So I need 2 damage to questing characters. See, that's not so bad. I'll just do a damage to Mary and Falco. So this guy goes bye-bye. So I make 11. So now I can travel to Orthanc. Oh no, I quested successfully. I will reveal this one. And I'll do some damage to some questing characters again.
Save your pity and your mercy. I have no use for it.
I'm pretty sure the rules say that characters are committed to the quest until the end of the quest phase. So Bilbo and Pippin will get that. So that's resolved. So now I will travel to Orthanc. So now that puts Saruman engaged. Who can defend Saruman? Treebeard can defend Saruman. So I haven't drawn cards, so this is a normal attack. But Treebeard is going to defend this for 8. So I discard a random card from my hand. I can ready Sam. Let's see, I can do 4. I have to get up to 10. 7. I can play Quick Strike or Unseen Strike for another 3. So that's going to be 10. And I will use this guy for another 4. So that's 14. It's 10 damage onto Saruman. And I believe that I was able to beat Saruman. Saruman's staff says Saruman has any hit points. It's good. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. It's a lot of fun. I have to say, with this particular deck, I'm not saying that this is an easy scenario at all. But listen to me when I say that with this particular deck, even in my practice playthroughs, so I know the triggers and stuff, I always find that this deck does very well against this scenario. It's fun. It's always fun to beat up on Saruman. One of the things I forgot to do is Treebeard gets 3 damage. I guess we resolve the campaign here. So it says, if any player has 3 or fewer cards in his hand, I don't. They've earned Saruman's Voice Burden card. If any player has 3 or more cards in his hand, the player's earned the Palantir of Orthanc boon card.
The filth of Saruman is washing away. Trees will come back to live here. young trees, wild trees.
Hey, Ben!
Yes, my bark.
Peregrine Took. I'll take that, my lad. Quickly now.
I will put that in my campaign pool. So here's the Palantir of Orthanc. It says to discard the top card of the encounter deck. If Aragorn's discard, you may add the Palantir victory display and remove it from the campaign pool. Choose a player. That player reveals one fewer counter cards to a minimum of 0. So this is a boon that's going to end up being onto Aragorn. And it's kind of neat. It's like a Gildor's Council, except you can get down to 0 cards. Okay, so let me update the campaign log and let me see how many points I end up with. 105. What did we earn? Boons we earned. The Palantir of Orthanc. And we never earned the Voice of Saruman. 105. And today's date is 7/27. Now we go to the next scenario, which is in the next box, the Passage of the Marshes. So I feel like we're going to go back to a Frodo quest. Okay, everybody, have a great day.